If someone has a HIV, the immune system becomes weak.
Okay.
So the person can easily get it because of the weak immune system.
Okay.
So it is a sexually transmitted infection. It's not airborne.
Okay.
Through skin to skin contact. If an
Right.
open wound or something, skin to skin contact, someone can easily get it.
Okay. So the vaccine, what is the vaccine and how does it also work?
Okay, so the HPV vaccine protects against it protects against human papilloma virus. Okay, and then like every other vaccine, the HPV vaccine introduces a small piece of the HPV virus or a weakened form of the virus into the body, thereby stimulating the immune system to develop resistance against the virus.
Right.
And it also helps in preventing the HPV infection.
Okay. So it says here that it's targeted at girls, but it's a sexually transmitted virus, which means that both parties involved in the activity are likely to be victims. So why is it specifically directed at girls or majorly directed at girls? Can boys also be vaccinated?
Yes. So they are targeting most girls though, but all of us, both male and female, can get it. So the age group, as early as 9 years, parents can vaccinate their children, their wards, as early as 9 years.
Okay.
9 years and above. But because we are looking at women more, they start from age 9 to 14 for the girls. But every other person, every other male can also get the vaccine.
Okay. So what is the connection between HPV and cervical cancer?
Pardon?
What is the connection between the HPV virus or the HPV and cervical cancer?
Okay. So HPV causes cervical cancer. The connection is that when HPV, a persistent HPV infection, when it gets persistent and then there is no treatment to it, it leads to abnormal cell changes.
Okay.
So when the abnormal cells start changing, it affects the cervix because they grow around the cervix.
Okay.
And then these abnormal cell changes can also progress to cervical cancer if left over time and left untreated.
All right. So is HPV on its own treatable?
Because it can, we have a lot of HPV, about 200 of them. So some go on their own. The antibodies in our system fight it, and then some go. But those persistent ones, they develop into the cancer, which becomes difficult to treat.
Right.
And then thereby, that's why the vaccines are needed to help prevent them so that you don't get that level.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I think we will need you to come by one of these days so we have a more extensive conversation. But before you go, there are some misconceptions about getting the vaccine and, what the whole thing is about. Some people think it might even hinder fertility. If you can debunk some of these myths for us quickly before you go.
Okay. So, looking at how cervical cancer is claiming life lately, like in Ghana, we are also not accepting from cervical cancer. Yearly, we record about 3,000 new cases and nearly 2,000 deaths each year, and many of which could have been prevented. So when we should rather forget about these myths and the misconceptions, so that we look at the problem at hand and then get vaccinated, so that we ourselves can be protected from this deadly HPV virus. It's better than listening to other people or the misconception about it. It won't help.
Okay.
So let's get vaccinated so that we can be protected.
Okay. Are there, because of COVID and the vaccines, people are a little worried about the vaccines. Are there any side effects we should look out for, and are they going to be any big deal?
Oh, no. Every other normal vaccines that we take, the basic known ones are like the pain, the redness or swelling at the injection site. We have fever, headache, and fatigue, that's tiredness, nausea, dizziness, and sometimes in rare cases, fainting. So with these, some of them will just go on it when it takes a normal painkiller like the paracetamol. Some just can just go on its own. But when it's persistent, you can see your healthcare provider, the nearest clinic or the nearest hospital or facility around you, so that you can be attended to as quickly as possible.
All right. Thank you so much. We hope to have this conversation on the main discussion very, very soon. Please do enjoy your day.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day too.
You too. So, Michael, have you heard about HPV? What do you know about HPV?
Okay, so I think listening to the conversation and also doing my research, I think the cervical cancer is, just as the woman said, is really, really claiming a lot of lives, especially women in our country, with 4,000 new cases and also 3,000 death cases as well. And so that is why this vaccine is very important. And the reason why it's targeting 9 years, is the fact that before 9 or at age 9, it is assumed that you haven't had any sexual intercourse. And
puberty is also starting.
HPV is gotten when you have sexual intercourse with somebody, and when you are sexually active, let me say it that way. And so that is by that way. But, this is not the first time this is being done. It happened in 2013, where it was targeted at grade-based and not what we are having now.
Age-based.
So the grade-based is basically something that was targeting girls in primary 4. So they were in class 4, but the problem with this was that it ended up just targeting those in school. What about those that were not in school?
Yeah.
And if you are not in school and you are not really working, usually you are highly exposed to sexual,
activities from men.
And so it ended up that even those that were out of school were the ones, getting themselves involved in that. And that is why they changed it to the age-based as well. And so, I think it is a campaign that we all need to push for. If you have a daughter who is 9 years and above and is going to receive this vaccine, you have nothing to be scared of, because now things are changing. Girls have started having, early sexual intercourse. I don't like the way Yara is taking her eyes away, but I mean, it is something that we cannot stop. And so the best way is to vaccinate our children. That's why a vaccine is preventive and not curative.
All right. And then also, if you are above the ages of 9 and 15, you need to see your gynecologist, and then that is if you've not had the vaccine, you need to see your gynae and also know what to do as to how to get the vaccine. And then also you can do your either biannual or annual pap smears just to be safe to test yourself. So we would have the doctor on very soon so that we can understand what HPV is all about. And that brings us to the end of the online and print review. Thank you so much. Pardon?
Peter didn't have his bites.
Oh, 20 seconds.
Oh, is it because he's a man?
No, I mean, it affects both, but the time is up.
So whilst this is a significant step forward, there are some considerations you have to put in mind. You know that the screening for the HPV, it's not free. It comes at a cost. And we know that when you go for screening, early detection is good.
Yeah.
I mean, but because of the cost involved, it is preventing, a lot of people from going. And then there should be education. They should educate the parent. They should get to know what it actually means, talking about the effects and all that, so that they can, release their daughters to be vaccinated.
And then the boys are also, it's open to boys too, so it's not just girls, but because of, I think, the makeup of our physiologies and things, we are seemingly more,
and
women are more,
cervical cancer. That's why.
Yeah, more women are more vulnerable to these things. So I think generally society should be educated on these things. Even men should be educated because it involves both parties. So yes, women are getting more attention for the vaccine because of cervical cancer, but we shouldn't leave out the role the males also play.
I hope you discuss this one more time again, because I had a lot, but then because of time.
I will liaise with my producer, and then we'll have the midwife on the show. So that day you'll be here, or you can be sending your questions. Yes. So as I was ending and I was interrupted, this brings us to the end of the online imprint review. Next is the lifestyle segment, and they're going to be discussing branding in your music career. So definitely there's a thing or two to learn from there, and we will be right back.